Gateway to Geats. Another week, another Geats, another gateway to Geats. This is I'm gonna talk about Geats for a little bit. Hopefully, you find it entertaining. I find it entertaining to make them. So either way, now I definitely feel like we're at the point. I definitely feel like we are at a point of watching the show where we can confidently say the beginning of Geats is solid. It's good, solid bit of television, you know? It's doing right what it says it's going to be on the tin. It's fun, it's entertaining. We're in a comfortable, good spot. So now it's much more like going forward, it's going to be peaks and valleys. It's less of like, oh, is the show going to improve? I think it's more of like, okay, show is good. We're going to see better bits and we're going to see slightly worse bits, but we're good. I think, you know? I just want to kind of get that out in the air, get that out in the open, because we start this episode off with a lot of sad. Tycoon, heavily injured, doing his recap thing, whole 9 yards. He gets a call from his sister, who's in the middle of the monster rampage, and is like, oh no. We then cut away to the other people in the lounge. They're hanging out. Nago is practicing kicking a can and annoying the others, while Tycoon rushes in and goes like, fucking monster, we gotta go fight monsters. And they go deal with it. They go try and deal with it. They go to the fight and everything falls apart. Nago is trying her best to help people. Buffa and Geats bicker and fight because I have the big dick and I gotta win the game. And no one gets anywhere near the monster. No one gets anywhere near the can. Everything goes to shit. Because Tycoon is just focused on going to save his sister. Which, you know, good. Good heroic quality for our good hero boy. While saving her, she does touch the core on the belt. And remembers the memories that the game is supposed to erase. Similar to how Tycoon got his memories back when he touched the belt in episode 1, or at the end of episode 1, right? Turns out their parents died in one of the games. Okay, the fuck? That is a plot detail to just land on us real quick. First things first, the Odin man came back, so what's different about the parents? Why couldn't they come back? Were they part of the game and died in the game? Or was there some kind of like prerequisite to being brought back after the game, you know? What specific, or do you have to specifically be wished back into existence by the person who wins the Grand Prix? There's implications here that is fascinating and interesting to talk about, but we have no goddamn time because the boss gets away and took Tycoon's sister. She is captured. Tycoon is just fucking wrecked. Everyone goes back to the base. They try to regroup, and basically Tycoon goes like, yo, I need to go save her. I need to go save her. I need to be hero. And comes up with an idea that's basically someone acts as a distraction and everybody guns for the can. Like, let's work together. And everyone says no. Buffa says, but I don't work. He does the whole I don't work well with others and all that kind of stuff. Nago goes like, but I want my desire. And Geats basically repeats the mantra that he's been going on. It's like, if you want to make the world, you got to make the world. You gotta do it. And Tycoon, I would say, kind of understands this and takes it to heart. We'll get into this. We'll get into that in a moment. But it's interesting. It's an interesting idea, and we'll put a pin in it. We'll get back to it. Because the monster appears with the sister Ento on the cactus, and they all go down to fight. Everyone's doing their own thing, while Tycoon treats himself as bait. He baits the monster, and the other Writers, Nago, Buffa, and Geats see this and go like, oh shit, the little fucker's doing that. I guess we gotta take advantage of it. I guess we gotta work together as a team. I guess if we have to, you know. And Tycoon's just getting the shit beat out of him. It is not pretty. He tries to buck and dodge and weave, but nah, he gets hit with the cactus spurs and the whole thing. While Geats is trying to use Ninja to go kick the can and everything, but something stops him. Tycoon is caught up in an explosion, and out of the explosion, he has Ninja. Okay, cool. That's fucking hype. That's sick. So what happened is that Geats, while trying to use Ninja, the power-up itself refused. It was like, no, get off of me, and flew over to Tycoon to save him. So that's something interesting. That the power-ups have some sort of like, I'm using this as an example just because I know this as a frame of reference, like Mjolnir from the Marvel Comics, maybe they have a value of who is worthy and who isn't. And like that connects to the idea earlier. Okay, so here's the thing. What if the Grand Prix has a big weird reveal at the center of it all? And that ultimately selfishly fighting only for your desires will ultimately hinder you in some ways, while helping others achieve their dreams gets you rewarded. Because we were joking this whole time about like, oh, Tycoon keeps getting boost over and over and over again, but he never gets to use it. And it seemed like a joke. It seemed like a fun running gag, but what if that's a hint? See, Tycoon has been the most altruistic and selfless writer we have. He's trying his best to help and save other people. And he repeatedly gets one of the most powerful items. That's interesting. That says something, doesn't it? And ultimately, this is more of like fan theory at this point. Maybe the whole reason the game keeps going on is because everyone in the game acts like a selfish dick when they need to be acting more heroically and trying to save the day, you know? Because what if it takes everybody who they get for the game, like all 50 people, all 20 people, whoever it is, and they all need to get to the final step in order to fight the big bad? What if that's like the big thing? That's why they have to have that many people, and you gotta bring them all in. I'm not saying that is what's going to be going on, but it's an idea. So let's pocket that theory till there's more to go on, or there is evidence to disprove it. Either way. But Tycoon is now ninja'd up and ready to go kick all the fucking ass. But I would like to point out something I've just kind of noticed. Tycoon looks a little bit like a classic Japanese yokai. I can't remember the name specifically, but they're those little weasels with sickles for hands that fly through the wind and like cut you. And with Geats being like a full-on kitsune and Buffa looking like one of those cow-headed spider yokai, I wonder if that's like a minor overarching theme of like, when the writer gets the right power up, they are like a mythological creature of some kind. This is probably going to be more easily disproven going forward, but it is an idea, and I kind of wanted to bring it up and just kind of like lay it on the table. Say like, hey, here's an idea. But the fight starts, and goddamn, the fight choreography this season has just been very interesting. They are trying so many things with the cinematography, the integration of compositing work. They are doing a lot, and it looks pretty damn good. Like, yes, you can see the seams and the wires, but overall, it's a good picture. It looks solid. It looks clean. Um, in particular, I really liked when Tycoon was bouncing in between the classrooms, kind of like Nightcrawler, just teleporting around and avoiding the cactus spurs. That was a fun little bit. But Tycoon barrels to the big giant cactus that's holding people. He destroys it. Geats, Buffa, and Nago then go to save all the people that were in the cactus. Good on them, acting like heroes. Again, interesting little dichotomy that ultimately the way that they save the day is not behaving selfishly like they said they should and like try to achieve the desire, but by acting like selfless heroes, they are able to accomplish the goal. And like, you look at previous people and that kind of like tracks. Like Mary acted like a selfish asshole, he's gone. The Joker kid acted like a selfish asshole, he's gone. The only one that doesn't quite fit is like the boss dude from like episode 2. And I don't know what that could be. Maybe it's more of the fact that he didn't work with other people and he only told, like, you know, I'm not saying it's a perfect theory, and it's more of like a working idea. And episode 2 might already throw that concept out of the window. But either way, Tycoon then kicks the can out of the barrier, seemingly winning the game as per the rules that were set up, though it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case, as everyone kind of like winds down and regroups and everything. Tycoon is like battered, beaten, bruised, and the woman in black and white comes in and goes like, hey, you are physically unable to continue to fight. You're being forcibly retired. And everyone's like, ah, man, that's kind of shit. And Tycoon goes like, ah, it's fucking fine. I'm fucking beat to hell. But before he disappears, Tycoon does hand Ninja back over to Geats. And it definitely feels like Geats is like fully acknowledging, it's like, yeah, dude, you were right this time. You were 100% right. All that kind of stuff. At least in the body language. Verbally, he didn't. And I will say, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit salty that Tycoon kind of started trusting Geats again. I would have loved to see him be a little bit more distrustful. You know? That would have been interesting. Or maybe like, hey, I don't trust you, but this was yours originally, so here you go, kind of thing. I don't like how he was just like immediately back on the right, like they were like, you know, it's a little thing, and it's not even like a big huge complaint. It worked for the scene, and the scene was good, it was well acted. It's just more of like man, it would have been cool, you know. And even then, I fully acknowledge that this was what they wanted to do, and this is what they did, and it'll probably work out better for the preceding future. You know, you want Geats to be a little bit more sympathetic now that our point of view character is gone. Geats seemingly resolves to truly beat this round and accomplish the goal, destroy this world and make a new one. And next week we still have the cactus guy, so that is interesting. It is a 3-week arc. It's a longer set with this monster, which I don't think has happened. Now, I don't know if it hasn't happened in 01 Saber or Revise. Like, if multiple, like, besides the 2-week arc that we got normally in Kamen Rider, if they extended that any whatsoever in those series. I don't know because I haven't seen them. So if they did, point that out to me in the comments. I will gladly eat that crow. But this episode was damn good nonetheless. But it's really kind of weird to get rid of our pro tag, you know? I wonder how that will work. You know, get rid of the character everyone likes, you know? I mean, I'm kidding, but like also they get rid of the point of view character. Thought just popped in my head. What if next week we don't get a recap because the person who does the recaps isn't there? I would love that, you know? It's like we jump right into the action, no recap whatsoever, because our recap guy is gone. But hey, we got some comments from the last Gateway to Geats that I wanted to bring up. First things first, from the Glory Cross. One time Tycoon finally uses boost, he gets his butt whooped. I'm very impressed Geats' backstory and just how the world's been playing the game since ancient times. Guy's ridiculously overpowered in the game, and we're slowly starting to see why. See, here's the thing. Geats being a weirdo ancient dude, to me, at this point in time in the series, is a bigger mystery to me. It's like, yeah, sure, the game can be like a weird thing that's just been going on and on for centuries, whatever. But Geats just being involved somehow, apropos of nothing, like nothing is pointed out as like the game is causing it or anything. He's just like a weird ancient weirdo, and I'm just going like, what the fuck is backstory, please? Because how does all that work? How does it work? Is there rules? Is there limitations? Is he just like a weird immortal weirdo? Is he John Carmack essentially? And another comment from Fish Pop. Just checked the episode and you don't actually see Boost Buckle. This is for episode 7, by the way. Buckle fly off. Tycoon gets swatted and he glows. Transformation fades, but the camera cuts. When it cuts back to Keiwa, Boost is gone from his belt, so I guess it flew away off screen. Turns out we were both wrong. He had Boost this episode. Hey, well, we all make mistakes. I make a more mistake because, hey, I made a video about it and said with confidence that he didn't have it anymore. So that's more on me than on you. But hey, either way, that seems to be the wrap up for this episode. So a little bit of house cleaning. Go subscribe to the Vacuuminator. Good friend of the channel, co-member of Modular Media, makes a variety of videos on a variety of subjects. Good lad. Go give him your support. And speaking of support, like this video, give it a comment, give it a subscribe. It helps out. Do all the things that you want to do. If you want to share this video with other people, please do. I would love to hear so many people's thoughts on this episode, and so many people's thoughts on Kamen Rider Geats as a whole. But ultimately, I think we've kind of wrapped up everything we need to talk about. So, till next time, everybody, I hope you stay Geatsy, I guess. I don't know. Is that a phrase? Is that what we're doing here? Fuck if I know.